Hey world, it's time to wake up, man. It's another day, man. It's another day, it's another opportunity, man. It's another chance for me, you, change the world, man. That's what we're here for, man. We're here to make a difference. I was sitting on the porch this morning, man, listening to some messages and stuff like that, and I got asked the question, hey, why do you got to listen to that stuff all the time? I said, I like it. Well, what has God done for you? A lot. Has He got you a job yet? Not yet, but one's on the way. I truly believe that, and I got such a strong message today. I know that out there in the world, man, as people, as human beings running through the world, and me, myself, man, I don't necessarily, and I say it many times, I don't want all the stuff in the middle, man. Just give me the facts, man. Save me all the labor pains, man. Just give me the baby. So believe me, I get that. But I can tell you that, sometimes as we're going through life, man, it's a process of learning, of growing, and we have to keep that in mind. But I know sometimes, we just want it, and we want it, and we want it now, and we want it now. I mean, I even got a tattoo on me, man. I ain't gonna jerk up my shirt and show you how fat I am and all that kind of stuff, but it says RFN on there, and I've always believed that, man, and it's right bleeping now. Right effing now. That's when I want things. I want things right now. You want things right now. Everybody wants things right now, man. They don't want to wait till tomorrow. They don't want to wait next week. When it's payday and the boss says, hey, I'll give you your check in about an hour or something like that. No, that ain't good enough, man. They want it now, 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 now. So I'm going to give you something today that I feel real strong about. And, as we roll through life, we're always searching for that answer, man. We're always searching for that extra thing that can catapult us above the crowd, that can make our life better, bring us more happiness, bring us more success in life and in our job, and move up in the world and get a better house and get nice cars and get all those nice things. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. I truly believe that we were here to prosper, to have good things. We got to keep things in perspective. But I'm going to give you that thing, man. That thing is, and I've known this all my life, and I've explained it in different ways. I'm going to explain it to you in two ways, man. If you want life to get better and you want life to move forward, it is a process, and it does take time, and I know we want it right now. But here's the two things, man, that I learned, and I knew it just wasn't quite put to me like this. I think it's real strong. One, we got to trust in God. We got to trust that God's going to lay our steps out for us. We got to trust that God's going to put things in our life. He's going to open doors. He's going to close doors. And the next thing that we got to do when we walk through life is we got to do good. So if you can wake up every day and say, hey, God, I trust that you're going to put me on the right path. I trust in you today, God, and that you're going to make my life whole and you're going to make my life complete. And I'm going to walk the world today, and I'm going to be good. I'm going to do good. And what that means is throwing that trust out to God and understanding that there's things that you can't change, that you don't have power over, and stop changing them, stop worrying about them, move forward, and every opportunity that you get to do good. And doing good means, getting out of selfish behaviors, reaching out a hand and helping this person out, finding out what can I do to help you, blessing your enemies, forgiving your enemies, understanding that people are going to talk bad about you, people are going to say bad things about you, and you got to forgive that person. You got to trust in God. You got to try to do good. We walk through life, man, and we let the negative, get inside of us, and change is a real hard thing to do for us as human beings. We want to get in that comfortable state of mind, that comfortable spot in our life, and stay there. And it's not that we don't want to grow and that we don't want better things, but if we look at it as, man, if I can ever get my life to a point to where I got a few of my bills paid off, I'm not struggling as much, and I got a decent job, I'm coming home, I'm going to work, we're repeating the same thing day after day after day after day. Once we get to that point, or we feel like we're chasing that, we kind of stop. And we don't even have to get that far ahead for us to stop. Many of us, when we get to a point in life where we're month to month, week to week, but we're making it. We got some food on the table. Life ain't so bad. We stay there. We stay stuck in that place right there. That wasn't meant for us. It was meant for us to move forward and elevate ourselves. And there's a few small concepts that I'm going to share with you that was shared with me, that if we want life to change, it ain't that hard, guys. It's a real simple method that we fail to do every day, and we all have heard it. We all know the things that we need to do. One big thing that I can tell you guys is, either trust in God, and I told you I'd show you two ways, man. Either trust in God, or if you can't do that, you can't say that, you're struggling with God or whatever, just say, I trust in the power of the universe. We all understand that. We all understand how karma works. We all understand how the universe works, how it comes around full circle, the process of things. We all get that. We all understand that. And then the next thing is do good. Maybe one day you'll get to the point to where say, hey, you know what? I do trust in the power of the universe, but I know the power of the universe is actually God. And see, that's the point I came to. And, not that I didn't believe in God all along. I did. But I liked to call out and say the power of the universe, which in essence is just God. But nevertheless, if you can't quite get there, and it's the power of the universe that you believe in, that's okay too. Some other things that we can do in our life, man, is time is something that you can't ever get back. You can't ever buy back. It ain't for sale anywhere. You don't get to repeat yesterday. You don't get to repeat when you was 20, when you was 15, when you was 25. None of that stuff you ever get back. Every day is a precious gift. And we walk through life and we let those precious gifts of the day slip by. As I told you the other day, when you get up in the morning, brush it off, brush all the bad off and give it all to God. All the resentment, all the disappointments, give all that back to God. There's a few things that are for sure in this life. Death and taxes. If you live in the United States of America, you're going to pay some taxes, okay? That's just how it is, and eventually you're going to die, so that's some guarantees for you. Some other guarantees in life, man, are we're going to have disappointments. We're going to have people stab us in the back. We're going to have people talk bad on us. We're going to have people hurt us. Those things are coming, guys, and you can be rest assured, you can be guaranteed that those things are coming. But one thing that I heard in a message today is that misery, lifelong misery, it's an option, man. You don't have to have it, man. All that pain and stuff that you feel, all those feelings of failure, you don't have to keep those, man. It's optional. And, to me, I know that stuff, and, I've heard it in different ways and everything like that, but, just to hear that, man, it's a powerful message, because we walk through life and we feel like, hey, this is where we're at, this is about as good as it's going to get, and we go ahead and accept that. And maybe we live an okay life, all right? But misery, man, we keep it there, we keep it there, we keep it there. And I talked to you about, on your dying days, the demons and this and that, man. For me, that demon of misery, man, yeah, I don't want that fella hunting me, man. I don't want him looking down at me and going, ha, 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 ha. Yeah, I stayed with you through all the days, didn't I? And he's going to tell you, you had the opportunity to get rid of me because it was optional. You didn't have to keep me. But see, you wasn't willing to take the steps necessary in order not to keep that misery in your life forever. So, trust in the universe, trust in God, do good, and that misery, man, slowly will dissipate, start going away. Now, when you start trusting in the universe, start trusting in God and trying to do good and everything, there's some things that come along with that, man. And I'm going to explain to you a little different than what it was explained to me. Those things that come along with that is those people that are around you that keep knocking you down. Those people that say, hey, you can't do this and you can't do that and you're not going to be able to become this. you know, whether it be a family member, you know, somebody you actually care about, man. That's a tough one, okay? You know, as you continue and trusting in God, trusting in the universe, and trying to do good, trying to do the right thing, you're going to start spending less time with those people, because that message that they're putting in your head ain't going with everything else you've got. We've got to understand that we have friends, we have acquaintances, and, you know, we need to narrow that, man. We need to close the gaps, man. We need to weed out the bad. We don't need bad influence, and we all have heard it. If you got someone talking negative in you, they don't have nothing good to say, you know, what good are they? But you know, you maybe spent 10 years of a friendship with this person, it's real hard to let go, and you don't sit there and realize that every time you go to that person, you start sharing your dreams, your heart desires, the things you want, the relationship that you want, an invention you want to come up with, a business you want to build, a new job opportunity that comes up, man. And all the time they're saying, yeah, man, oh, stop doing that, man. Just keep your old job. Don't worry about that. At least you got a paycheck coming in. That's too big for you. You got to let that person go, man. You know, it's hard, but you got to let them go. I'm going to share something else with you. You know, think about it. You know, we all may have an abundance of acquaintances. Maybe you more so than I do. And then we got a smaller circle of friends, okay? And then we got a smaller circle of real good friends. And we may have 2 or 3 or 4 that we call best friends. And there's a point why I'm sharing this with you. You know, the book by Napoleon Hill, Grow Rich, I do buy into many of the concepts that they have in that book. And one of the things they talk about is gathering you a council, some people that are positive, that are upbeat, that are uplifting, that maybe have a little bit of more education than you do, that they're an expert in this field or in that field, for you to get with those people and have positive things coming into your mind to counsel you on your ideal. And it says another thing too. It says, when you got that big ideal, don't blatantly tell them that ideal or tell someone that ideal. They may run off with your ideal and invent it. You know, trust is a hard thing, and we got to give trust to people, but we got to understand that more than likely, probably not more than likely, in all instances, that person, no matter how close they are, they're going to hurt you in some form or another. They're going to let you down in some form or another, and you know, maybe not to the point to where you break off that relationship, but you know, even if you've got a spouse and it's your lifelong love and y'all on the same page on everything and everything's just perfect, you know, there's going to be a time you're going to hurt that person. There's going to be a time that person hurts you, and you'll be able to get past it. But we walk through life and understand that real hard to count on people as much as we can, the relationship with God, or if you want to call it the universe, that's okay too. Anyways, in the Bible it talks about, and I learned this too, and I ain't trying to push a whole lot of the Bible off on y'all guys. Don't take it wrong, man. I use some of these as examples because they make a whole lot of sense to me, man. Anyways, you know, Jesus was walking the earth, and you know, everybody wanted to be part of Jesus, you know, except the naysayers and the people that said he was fake or whatever. But many people wanted to get close to Jesus and, you know, be his close friend. Well, he only had 12 disciples, and that was his close, you know, circle. And out of that, he had 3 people, and John, Paul, and I can't remember the other guy's name, man. Those were his tight-knit counsel, if you will say. Those are the people that he trusted in most, that words of doubt didn't come out a whole lot. You know, the other disciples, they were good, and they were his good friends, and they loved him, and they believed in everything that he was, and they followed him, but you know, maybe some words of doubt would come. So, you know, he picked these 3 people. Anyways, he's going to this place, going to this town to try to save this girl, that little girl that had died. And he walked in the door, and he only took those three disciples with him, not the other ones, John, Paul, and the other guy. And when he entered the room, there's a bunch of people there, and a bunch of people are in doubt. And Jesus says, hey, don't worry about it. She's going to be okay. She's just sleeping. A bunch of people says, what do you mean she's just sleeping? She's dead. She's gone. There's nothing you can do. It's over with. Well, we know that Jesus, as God, and he can do anything that he wants to do. But he chose at that moment to take those people, those negative people, and remove them out of the house. He kept the mom, the dad, and the three disciples there. Lo and behold, the girl woke up and she was alive again. And the moral of that story is even though, Jesus could have done it in front of everybody, he wanted people to understand how important that support group, that counsel is, of people that truly, truly believe in you. We've got to find those people that no matter what we say, no matter what's in our heart, no matter what's in our head, no matter what our dreams are, that those tight-knit people that are around us are saying, go for it, man. I think you can do it. And they encourage us. They lift us up. We can't take that in our ears saying that we can't. A lot of times, guys, we go ahead and accept it, man. We go, yeah, you're probably right, man. That's a little too much for me to do, man. I probably can't do that. Guys, we gotta get out of that, man. We gotta remove that from our mind. Yesterday I tried to, walk a little different, and as we move through the day, we try to get some. For me, I try to get some, good spiritual growth in the morning, man. Try to get my head right, go out there and hit that world, and the world, bam, hits you in the face, man, jacks you all up, man. We say some things, we get angry, we get mad, we get jealous, we get disappointed, things like that. I found out through this message, yesterday I was trying to do this, trust in God and do right. No matter what hit me yesterday, I didn't let it upset me. I didn't let it get me mad. I just kept pushing forward. I kept believing, hey man, just do the right thing today. It's going to be okay. The job is coming. As we move through life, man, if we don't trust fully in God and we're calling out to him, we got two options, man, I think, in life, man. We can depend on ourselves and mankind and, our own self-will and stuff, and we can make it through life, man. I ain't saying that we can't, man. You can. There's a bunch of people doing it, man. You might not get that promise at the end of your days, but, for me, I know that if I take my will, my power, the things that are self with me, I know I can't go near the distance that I could with God behind me. With God behind you, guys, you might, by yourself, you might be able to run a 26-mile marathon, but, in theory, I'm not saying your body's built like this and you can actually do it, but, in theory, with God behind you, man, you can run all around the world, man, do all kinds of things, man. Nothing's impossible with God, man, nothing. And I think we forget that sometimes because maybe there's a little bit of a struggle, maybe because it's not happening right now. We kind of give up and we get self-absorbed, and we get back out there and we start trying to chase these things ourselves, and kind of push the God deal off to the wayside. And man, you're at the workplace, man, and somebody comes in and says, maybe you're working on commission and something like that, and they tell you, man, business sucks this month. I ain't made no money, man. I know you ain't made no money. You've only sold 2 cars this month. How much have you made? $300, and it's the 22nd of the month. Well, if you're that person that can sit there and say, hey, you know what? You're right, man, but God's going to take care of it, man. God's going to handle me, man. I'm going to get there. I'm going to make it. Now, you can't just say that and just sit at the desk and expect some people to come in the door and say, hey, man, God sent me over here to buy a car from you today, man. Yeah. It don't work like that, man. You got to get that phone. You got to dial that phone. You got to take care of some customers, man. You got to, sell with some integrity, man. You got to sell with some enthusiasm and stuff like that. But that's where that key comes in of trusting in God and doing good, doing the right thing. If we can walk through life and do the right next thing, guys, things are going to come to us now. We're not always going to understand why it doesn't come this way and why it doesn't come that way. That's not for us to question, man. We can't get hung up in that, man. We can't get hung up in that anger, man. We got to give that. We got to give that, man. We got to give that to God, and we got to, say, hey, God, maybe that whole month was bad, man. And you got to give that away, man. You can't sit there and waller in it and lie in it, man, because you're just going to repeat it. You're going to repeat the process. That's what happens. We get complacent in life, and we repeat the process. We repeat the process. We repeat the process. Now, I don't want anybody to misunderstand that complacency is okay in accepting where you're at right now, knowing that there's a bigger door, there's a better way, that your best days are ahead of you. Now, that's what we're supposed to do, okay? Wherever we're at in life, we're supposed to experience happiness at that point. I got bad days and I got good days. There's no doubt about it. But, as I move forward, man, my good days are better. My good days are more abundant. Even though, got difficulties in life, man. We all got difficulties, man. I'm happy, man. I feel good in my core. I know things are coming. I know things are moving for me. And I truly understand that it's a building process. And for me, man, I could stop right here, right now, and go back out there in the world and become what I was before. And there's nothing wrong with it. I wasn't a bad person. Don't get me wrong. I didn't, just get on some, holy road or anything like that right there. I got a clearer and better understanding. I'll tell you that. There was a point in my life where, I didn't have a very clear understanding at all. And it took a little bit of a wake-up call to get me there. But as life moves on, man, we got to understand that no matter where you're at in life, no matter where you're at, you got to remain positive. You got to remain happy. You got to remain, upbeat and ready for the next day. And diversity's going to hit you, man. It's going to hit you hard, man. Life, man. But I'm going to tell you what, man. Life's a trial, man. It is, man. It's a up and down. It's a dips. It's the valleys. We get off in those valleys, man, and we stop climbing up, man. We stop climbing up, man. You got to climb up, man. You got to climb out of the valley, man. You got to understand that valley ain't forever, man. If you think about it, and we don't think about this a whole lot. We don't, guys. We get off in that valley and we forget. We forget that there was 37 valleys before that one that we crawled ourselves out of. This one here may be a little bit more difficult, but if we sit there and we lose sight and we forget that we got out of the other valley, we'll never get out of this valley, man. And guess what? Guess what? Where you'll be, man? You'll be in that life of misery, man. And I told you, man, that misery is optional. You got to get up. You got to lift yourself up, man. You got to understand there's something greater. There's something bigger out there, man. And every day, man, I'm not asking you to, be exactly like me, man. I am asking you to try to get a message however it is that you get it, man. And in your own way, however it is, man. Get up every day, and someday you might be a little stronger than the next, but get up every day, man, with the attitude. I'm going to change the world, man. That's my attitude. I want to change the world. I'm interested in changing my world, but I found out about that, take and give deal. Yeah, you keep taking, man. There's nothing left to take. You ain't giving. Man, you got to play catch up now. It's a whole lot better to give and receive, like I told you, man. Trust in God and do good. Go out there in the world, man. No matter how jacked up you are, no matter how bad things are, man. If somebody needs $2, man, and buddy, you need that $2. You need to hang on to it, man. Give that fella the $2, man. If you got 4 in your pocket, man, figure it out, man. That's what I've been doing. And it's helped me, guys. Every time I get an opportunity to, man, I try to do the right next thing. I try to do good, try to help people. Every day, my strength, my trust in God, my trust in the universe, it grows. I believe more. belief and faith and all that stuff, that's the foundation of a good life. Get that foundation built, man, and you start building things around it. You start understanding that I got to surround myself with the right kind of people. And all that stuff's hard to do, but one day at a time, every day, man, if you're trying to do good, and when you fall short, man, it's okay, man, it's okay. I learned something else real quick I'm going to tell you, man. I love the deal about getting up in the morning, brushing it off, giving it to God. But they say if the sun sets in anger, the sun will rise in anger. Man, that really hit me, man. It made a lot of sense to me. A lot of times we lay our head down with resentment, with failure, with disappointments. Someone hurt us, someone let us down, we didn't get that job. And, when we go to bed with that kind of stuff in our mind, we wake up with it. And that day's bad. So for me, I'm going to try to get in the practice before I lay down, man, giving that stuff to God, forgiving whoever done me wrong, understanding that my best days are ahead of me. I think that's a good practice for us to get into, guys. And, it's not a bad practice, man, each day, man. Saying it and doing it's obviously two different things, but I'm telling you something, man, something I've learned, man. If you can just start saying the words, man, and maybe you're not practicing the actions, but you can continue to say the words, and the actions are going to follow, man. It's just all right. God's going to hear you, man. He's going to hear you calling out to him. And maybe you're not doing the actions, but he's going to put something in front of you. He's going to help you. He's going to push you along, You can look at it, little cattle prod hitting you back there, man. We'll go, whoa, all right, man, I'm moving, God, I'm moving, man. Telling you that's how it works. It's worked for me like that right there. So every day if we just reach out to God and say, God, I'm trusting in you today and I'm going to do good. Just leave it at that, man. If that's all you can do, if that's all you can get out, leave it at that. I assure you, when you get in your vehicle, you drive down the road and bam, that opportunity's there. Man, it's not going to take very long for you to make the right decision and to do good. And then guess what? You're going to feel something inside of you. It's going to make you want to do it more. Now, don't 1-2 day this thing, okay? You got to keep moving forward, man. Don't go out there and be kind to one person and expect God, man, to help you win the lottery or something like that. It ain't going to work like that. Now, me, I've always said it, and, man, God, if your purpose, if your plan is for me to win the lottery, a big old fat $100 million lottery, then I sure do want that, and I don't want to mess that up, okay? Don't get me wrong on that, but I've said all along that God, and this is a little bit before I learned as much as I learned, but I always said that God gave me some gifts, gave me some talents, and gave me an ability to go out there and make it in the world. He wasn't going to give it to me for free, but he gave me the ability to go out there and do that. Now, with that, man, as I moved along in life, man, and I done good, and I tried to do the right thing, and I worked hard, God did throw some things down on me, man. Some of us call it luck and, a result of hard work. Me, man, I think it's more a result of trying to walk the right way, trying to do the right thing, man. I think things come to us a little bit easier on that way. It gets right down to, God promised you a bounty. God promised you a harvest like you've never seen before. Believe in me, walk with me, talk to me, reach out to me, ask me each day for your daily guidance. Bless your enemies, forgive people, lift people up, reach out, do the right thing. Ask God to watch you today. Trust in God and do good. I think it's that simple, guys. Now, when we say trust in God, I mean, that means, the things that God wants us to do on this earth. That's what we're supposed to do, okay? You can't just say I trust in God and I'm going to do the right thing, but you never do them. Now, don't get me wrong. Continue to do that because it'll come to you. It'll come to you, man. We got to do the right things, guys. The gateway, the key to heaven. I don't have all the answers. I don't. I truly believe the things that I'm talking about today. I believe that, definitely is a step in the right direction to obtain that key. Now, I don't have all the answers, and you don't have all the answers, and guess we ain't never gonna get all the answers, guys. It just ain't gonna happen, man. The answers, man, are up there with God and His Son, and they got all the answers. One day they're gonna share them with us. It just ain't today, guys. Keep your head up, guys. Keep moving forward. Keep pushing. Keep believing in yourself. Keep growing that core. Keep growing that soul. Keep matching up that mind with it, man. Keep putting positive thoughts in there, man. Those two things, man, they're going to get in sync, man. And before you know it, like I tell you, before you know it, you're going to wake up and suddenly, bam, you're going to look around and you're going to be, wow, man, everything's changed and I see it. Don't stop there. Keep going forward, guys. I've got to that point, okay? And I slowed down. I regressed. I stopped. You know, my goal this time to get there and keep pushing forward and keep pushing forward and elevate myself each and every time. I know there's greatness in store for me, and I have not tapped it yet. And I know that. I know this chapter in my life is the chapter I've been looking for, the chapter I've been wanting, the chapter I've been built for, the chapter that now I'm growing for. You know, all the things that's going on with me in life right now, you know, I believe that God's putting them there, that God's putting me, you know, through the pain and stuff that I'm going through right now to grow me. And see, I welcome that. And that's what you need to do. Whatever you got, whatever pain that you got inside of you right now, no matter where it comes from, welcome the pain, man. And understand that something's better for you, that something bigger is coming. Reach out, man. Do what you're supposed to do, man. Do good, man. Don't stay there and grovel in defeat. Get out there and help somebody, man. Reap that harvest so it can be given back to you. Grow that seed, plant that seed so that harvest can grow and flourish and it can be given back to you twofold. That's how it works, guys. You know, that is the power of the universe, okay? And we all know who made the universe and where it come from, don't we? Now, this is real funny. I just want to tell you one more thing. I'm sorry. I know I'm long-winded today, guys. You know, science, it's intriguing to me, okay? It is, man. I like science, man. It's a mystery, man. But, you know, it's funny, man. I heard this message about, you know, we as humans, we like mystery. You know, why do we not get into the mystery of God, man? Man, that's a heck of a mystery right there, man. You know, there's so many answers over time about science and this and that and space, man. I think it's really cool, man. You know, the planets and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, here recently, scientists, you know, they always said the Big Bang was science or whatever they explained it. But, you know, nowadays, there's a bunch of people that, you know, are scientists, and they're saying that, hey,